Governor Perry, with your indulgence, sir, I'd like to change the subject a little bit to China. According to U.S. officials, China is using cyber attacks to steal billions of dollars of intellectual property that is critical to this nation's economic success. Are we, sir, engaged in financial warfare with China?
Listen, there are some people who have made the statement that the 21st century is going to be the century of China, and that, you know, we've had our time in the sunshine. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. As a matter of fact, you think back to the 1980s, and we faced a similar type of a situation with Russia. And Ronald Reagan said that Russia would end up on the ash heap of history, and he was right. Admit, I happen to think that the communist Chinese government will end up on the ash heap of history if they do not change their virtues. It is important for a country to have virtues of honesty. And this whole issue of allowing cybersecurity to go on, we need to use all of our resources. The private sector working along with our government to really standing up the Cyber Command in 2010 was a good start on that. But fighting this cyber war, I would suggest, is one of the great issues that will face the next president of the United States, and we must win it.
Governor, thank you. That's time. Governor Romney, I wonder, how would you manage China to avoid a 21st century Cold War?
Well, China has an interest in trade. China wants to, as they have 20 million people coming out of the farms and coming into the cities every year, they want to be able to put them to work. They want to have access to global markets. And so we have right now something they need very badly, which is access to our market, and our friends around the world have that same power over China. We need to make sure that we let them understand that in order for them to continue to have free and open access to the thing they want so badly, our markets, they have to play by the rules. They can't hack into our computer systems and steal from our government. They can't steal from corporations. They can't take patents and designs, intellectual property, and duplicate them and counterfeit them and sell them around the world. And they also can't manipulate their currency in such a way as to make their prices well below what they otherwise would be. We have to have China understand that, like everybody else on the world stage, they have to play by the rules. And if they do, we'll have open trade with them and work with them, and they should in every way want to collaborate with us and not become a belligerent nation economically or militarily. But if you just continue to sit back and let them run over us, the policies of Barack Obama in China have allowed China to continue to expand their entry into our computer systems, their entry, stealing our intellectual property, and of course their military capacity as well.
Governor, but I would like to ask you a follow-up on that point. You talk about all the things that China should be doing. How do you affect that as Commander-in-Chief? How do you make China do these things?
Well, number one, on day one, is acknowledging something which everyone knows. They're a currency manipulator. And on that basis, we also go before the WTO and bring an action against them as a currency manipulator, and that allows us to apply selectively tariffs where we believe they are stealing our intellectual property, hacking into our computers, or artificially lowering their prices and killing American jobs. We can't just sit back and let China run all over us. People say, well, you'll start a trade war. There's one going on right now, folks. They're stealing our jobs, and we're going to stand up to China.
Governor Huntsman, Governor Romney just said we're in the middle of a war we're not even declared or we're not even aware of. And Governor Perry said China will end up on the ash heap of history. You've been in China. You were the ambassador for our nation there under President Obama. What's your reaction?
Well, the reality is a little different, as it usually is when you're on the ground. And I've tried to figure this out for 30 years of my career. First of all, I don't think you can take China to the WTO on currency-related issues. Second, I don't know that this country needs a trade war with China. Who does it hurt? Our small businesses in South Carolina, our exporters, our agriculture producers. We don't need that at a time when China is about to embark on a generational transition. So what should we be doing? We should be reaching out to our allies and constituencies within China. They're called the young people. They're called the internet generation. There are 500 million internet users in
Governor,
China.
We're going to have
and 80 million bloggers, and they are bringing about change, the likes of which is going to take China down.
We're going to have
while
to leave
we
it
have
there,
an opportunity
Governor.
to go up and win back our economic manufacturing muscle. That's all I want to do as president.
I thank you very much. We will be back with the Republican Commander-in-Chief debate from Wofford College in just a moment.